Salutations, guys. I do hope your day is going well, and I'm sure mine is going well. The day that I post this, I'm actually filming this the night before. I'll probably post around midnight, but that's besides the point. And we're here to talk about Mr. Nanny. Now, first thing I want to discuss isn't really about the movie, but it's about the copy that I have. Now, as you can see, Mr. Nanny VHS, and when I pop this into my VCR, and yes, I do have a VCR. I have a DVD VCR combo. It's come in very handy over the years. But when I put this in, it appears that someone has tried to record television over it and failed. Because of course you can't completely record over these tapes. You know, that's impossible. But I do hear there's two sets of audio. The movie audio and whatever was on the TV. Patriots won, by the way. So that was really weird. And I could not rewind it normally, you know, where you'd like stop it and press rewind, and then, you know, like while you're watching TV or something, it rewinds. Couldn't do that. So essentially I had to watch the movie in reverse before I could watch it. So with that out of the way, now Jake, you love Mr. Nanny. Jesse, you loathe it. I'm kind of taking the middle ground. Whereas I think, you know, Mr. Nanny, obviously not the best movie ever by any means. I have seen worse movies, and we've already talked about that. And I kind of view Mr. Nanny a lot like I view Captain America, where it is just so ridiculous that I marvel at it. I'm truly blown away at how ridiculous it is at some points. I mean, first of all, Hulk Hogan's name, his character, his name is Armstrong, and throughout the movie, it's shown over and over again that, you know, he must be some sort of superhero, because otherwise, you know, he would be dead, as Jake, you explained. And that's exactly what it says in on the back here, you know, it says larger than life superhero Hulk Hogan is a bumbling bodyguard turned babysitter, blah 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 blah. So it's truly in a very odd universe where children can get away with attempted murder, and those attempts do nothing. Now the bad guy, while watching this, I kept wondering to myself, who is this man? You know, like he looks so familiar, and so I went on IMDb, and you know, it said that his name was David Johansen. But I'm like, no, like, what does that mean? You know, who is David Johansen? And it turns out, and maybe you guys already figured this out, but David Johansen went by the alias Buster Poindexter and did his song Hot, Hot, Hot. Me mind on fire, me soul on fire, feeling hot, hot, hot. He's the hot, hot, hot guy. And it blew me away that this was the same man. On a delightful side note, David Johansen also composed the musical score for Mr. Nanny. So think about that. The evil bad guy in Mr. Nanny wrote the one-hit wonder Hot, Hot, Hot and composed the music for this film that we watched. fantastic. Also, there was a line that stuck out to me from David Johansen and Mr. Nanny. It says, "Who are you?" And he says, "I'm your average psychotic genius." So I always thought that was I thought that was an interesting line in there. Here's something that neither of you guys touched on. In the famous tea drinking scene between Hulk Hogan and the little girl, whoever that is, she insists that Hulk Hogan puts his pinky up. Pinky up. But I saw that, and being the tea snob that I am, I go, that's improper form. That is not how a man drinks tea. That just happens. And so I came to the conclusion that since a lot of us, well, all three of us, we saw Mr. Nanny as a child, and I assume majority of the people our age saw Mr. Nanny when they're young. That's probably one of the reasons why the stereotype of the pinky out remains on, because when we're watching it, hey, that girl sounds pretty smart. She's having the tea party. She's telling Hulk Hogan what to do. Must be right. So that's just something really weird that I noticed that I'm sure no one in their right mind would notice. Someone who had a life would not notice. I notice. This I guess if I had to rate this movie, it would probably get somewhere around like a 3 out of 10. But there's something to be said that Mr. Nanny really did spark a trend in movie making when it comes to family comedies. Because if you look, Vin Diesel's The Pacifier is practically the same exact movie. But for all of our fans watching, this was our coverage of Mr. Nanny. The next review, whenever we decide to do that, will be Lawrence of Arabia. I still need to get that. The movie that I want to review is John Candy's Going Berserk. I have it right here. I've never watched it. It was in a John Candy 3-pack, so I've never watched it. So I think we could all watch it and review it, and it would be a good time. So, tell me what you guys think, or if you don't like that idea, I got others. So, yeah. See you tomorrow, Jake. Blah, 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 blah.